Hey guys, it's Elizabeth with Willow Tarot, and I am here as the card medium. That is the medium that uses cards. And this Saturday, I'm going to be hosting the free event at 8 a.m. CDT. You can find this on Meetup under Willow Root Tarot. It's called the Card Medium. We're going to host an event, and I'm going to be putting out a fabulous exercise called Through the Medium's Eyes. And this is where we're learning to look at a card through the lens of mediumship. We're going to look at the image as a field of potential mediumistic evidence. Everything on that card has the potential to be evidence in the medium's reading. And this is one form of mediumship, evidentiary mediumship. But this is what we're going to be doing this Saturday if you're interested. So I'm here to talk to you about the actual exercise, give you an idea of what's going to be happening. Then when we meet on Saturday, we'll have a clearer image. So sometimes when we're with cards, while we're in communication with spirit, the imagery of the card can become a visual vocabulary through which information is communicated. And this vocabulary will grow as your skills grow. Let's say first person here. Let's talk about me. I'm just starting this vocabulary. I am new to mediumship. I'm having a fabulous time exploring, and I'm loving that people are learning along with me as I learn with them. And I'm beginning to understand the vocabulary, but it is very new days. But I know the more I practice, the more I connect, I'll be able to visualize more of that vocabulary. I'll be able to hear more of that vocabulary. I'll be able to know more of that vocabulary and feel it as well with my clairs. So for an example, if I pull the Three of Pentacles while communicating with someone who has died, the stonework might connect with someone who was a mason. The building might resemble a church connected with their life or funeral, and the three figures might relate to three siblings. The clothing might remind the sitter, and the sitter is like the querent. Depending on the style of reading, we're going to use different vocabulary. In mediumship, it's the sitter, the person asking the question, the person receiving the reading. And it may be what the sitter wore. The sitter, the person we're talking about for the sitter, what that person wore to work. Something tiny in the background might suddenly become the most evidential part of the entire card. So there's also an important note here. Check in with your sitter. Mediumistic readings are also avenues of grief venting. So be prepared and check in. So let's go ahead and talk about the exercise called Through the Medium's Eye. So this is what we're going to do. Well, actually, let me talk about this first. When we know our cards well, we can look at a familiar card and immediately recognize it as, say, the Three of Pentacles or the Tower, the Empress, the Six of Cups. In this exercise, we stay with what is actually visible in the image and explore how those details could become evidence. In a mediumistic communication, a dog may be their dog. A tower may be a building they live near. The ocean may be a place that was important to them. The Three of Pentacles may bring forward 3 coins that they collected, and a red coat might be the coat everyone remembers them wearing. So this image is almost a vocabulary. It's helping us build that. A hammer might suggest construction, someone who repaired things around the house, a particular tool someone owned, a profession, a hobby, a memory, or even a nickname. A building could bring forward a church, a workplace, a school, a home, a hospital, or a particular kind of architecture that someone recognizes. Clothing might connect with a profession, an era, a uniform, a favorite outfit, or a particular style someone was known for. It may also favor their profession in saying that they worked at a museum. The idea here is don't fill in the gaps. If you see a blank page, then say that you see a blank page, but make damn sure you saw the whole page. Do not fill in the gaps. An animal might bring forward a beloved pet or an important connection with that animal. A landscape might connect with where someone lived, traveled, worked, or spent time. Weather could become evidence. A facial expression could become evidence. A number could become evidence. Something very small in the background could become evidence. And I believe here we're training ourselves to notice possibilities. If I see a church in a card, I can explore the different kinds of information that image could potentially represent. I might connect with a place, an actual church, an event, maybe a wedding or a funeral, a christening, the architecture of the church itself, and potentially who was the architect. Maybe a memory stirs, a profession comes forward, a community, a church within a community, perhaps an isolated community, or something entirely different. This is how we begin expanding our card medium vocabulary. So for the exercise, and this is what we'll be doing on Saturday, you're welcome to do it ahead of time. Each person will pull one card and spend a specified amount of minutes exploring it specifically through the lens of mediumship. The goal is to find 5 completely different pieces of potential mediumistic evidence within that one card. I want to stretch myself into different kinds of information. Maybe I notice something about a profession, a family connection, a location. Maybe I notice an object. Maybe I notice clothing, an animal, a number, a physical characteristic, an activity, a building in the card, the weather, what's the weather, or something else entirely. Each detail gives me another opportunity to explore how imagery can become evidential information in mediumship. The more possibilities I learn to recognize within an image, the more flexible my visual vocabulary becomes when cards are part of my medium practice. When we come back together and share our 5 pieces of potential evidence, now we're not actually leaving the room, we're just spending that quiet time there. We also get to see the card through other people's eyes. Someone else may notice something I completely overlooked. They may look at the same doorway, tree, piece of clothing, number, animal, building, expression, or tiny background detail and see a completely different possibility. That expands my vocabulary too. Through this practice, I become more observant, more flexible, and more aware of how much potential evidential medium information can exist within a single image. And for those of you who have access to your clairvoyance, currently are using it, that's great. We can see it. All right. So when I'm in mediumship, I can ask. When I'm sitting with the card during this exercise, I can say, what do I actually see? I'm not reading the card. I'm looking at what is literally in front of me. What might this detail communicate about a person? What could someone who has died use this image to show me about themselves? How much potential evidence is sitting inside this image? It's going to be fascinating. If you haven't done the exercise, please don't hesitate to come to the room on Saturday at 8 a.m. CDT. It's going to be great. And I hope to see you guys there. All right.